Good afternoon, Stitch Roadies. Well, it's been a bit. I've been kind of busy, little busy bee. And I just wanted to take this time to welcome you back to the channel. And if you are new, this is a channel about cross-stitch and life and a little bit of this and that, and I hope you will give some time here, and if you'd like to hit the subscribe button and hit the thumbs up. There's also a little bell icon that if you click on that, it will let you know when I have another video up. I know it's been probably a couple of weeks because I was at Quilters Affair. So every year in the town of Sisters, Oregon, on the second Saturday in July is the world's largest outdoor quilt show. And those quilts go up and down on one day. And it is an amazing event to witness. It's inspiring. And the week before is called Quilters Affair, and that is where there are instructors from all over the world that come and teach quilting classes or fabric dyeing or journaling. There's all kinds of classes, something for everyone. So you want to get onto the Stitching Post mailing list so that you can find out more information for the 2024 show. But this is a channel about cross-stitch. I just wanted to let you know where I've been and what I've been recovering from. I really thought that I would get a lot of cross-stitch done because we were camping for the week in the town of Sisters, and I always overestimate my abilities. I always overestimate. But I was a little bit better in not bringing 10 things that I thought I could get done. And in fact, the only cross stitch I got done that week was frogging. I had some frogging to do on a designated stitch, the Owl by Primitive Hair, and I did get that unpicked. But truly, by any free time that I had, I was exhausted. And during that week, I took a 2-day class with Sue Spargo, and then 3 days I was working because I mentor the sit and stitch for the Quilters Affair. And it is just inspiring to meet everybody and to make those connections of old and new friends. I can't stress enough how fun it is, and to encourage you, no matter where you decide to go, to grab some girlfriends' hands and just do it. Just do it. So when I came home, I was like hitting the cross stitch like crazy because I was a week behind, and I know that in another week I will be on another journey with my sister and won't have time to be stitching on my designated stitch. So I came home and I was working like a fiend. I became for 1 week a monogamous stitcher. It's not my modus operandi. It's not my modus operandi. But I have my designated stitch all done except for a little bit of back stitching that I have to do. And it's not a lot of back stitching. So here's the chart by Primitive Hair. And the only back stitching I have to do is just a little bit in his claws right there. So that's like not even 10 minutes worth of work. But I'm so proud of myself, because look it. Isn't he magnificent? Absolutely magnificent. Yes. I can't even remember everything I've done since I got home. I know that I had a stitch day with some girlfriends. Oh, and my friend Cheryl from the Floss Tube Stitching with the Sisterlies gifted me this embroidery panel, a Halloween embroidery panel. She has a embroidery sewing machine that you program, you know, because she's really smart. And I saw this Halloween quilt that she was making, and I said, I love this square. And so my intention is to actually quilt some blocks around the edge and make a wall hanging, because I have people in my life that like my quilts. So I know I went over to my oldest grandson's mother's house, and she her front porch was absolutely decorated, so cute. And I said, you need a quilt hanging up there. And she agreed. So, you know, I'm always looking for family members to do some quilts for. I was excited about that. Just forewarning, there is no, I envy those YouTube channels or floss tube channels where they have everything organized into categories, and they kind of move through the categories quite smoothly. That is not this channel. This is more like Saturday Night Live, so I will be bouncing all over the place. And even I am confused right now. What to show you next? When I was at the Quilters Affair, there's a fundraiser that is fabric postcards that people make. All the teachers make one, and those are silent auctioned. And then there are other cards that people send in. Like there's a stitcher, Barbara Jensen, who sends in like 100 postcards. She makes postcards all year long and then mails them in to this fundraiser. It is truly a gift from the heart. And then there are other people from all over the place that send postcards in, and you can purchase them. And I could not pass this postcard up. And the reason being is, number one, it was cross-stitched. I mean, look at this postcard. It's absolutely adorable. So it was framed. So this is the postcard here. And there are tutorials on how to do this, including one, I believe I did one on Quilt Roadies. So if you Google Quilt Roadies postcards, you might find a tutorial. But that adorable little barrel cactus is cross-stitched. And when I saw who cross-stitched it, I was moved to purchase it. And it's because it was cross-stitched by a stitcher in Russia. Somehow, the whole concept that a stitcher in Russia would send a postcard to a little town in Oregon for a fundraiser just moved me. And I wanted a piece of that goodness, so I purchased this postcard to hang in my beehive here. I just love it. I love the whole idea of it. You know, all those where we're connected. It's kind of like I got this this last week. I found G found this bag on our front porch. I mean, is that gift bag not right up my alley? And this beautiful letter in there, and it said neighbor. And inside the bag was this little agate heart. There were a couple of these little bees, pom-pom bees, and this jar of Scottish heather honey. Now the letter was actually from a neighbor behind me. So there's some big properties behind us, and their front doors face our back. That it's on a little country lane, and she left these bags of honey goodness on all the neighbors that their backyard faces the front lane, if that makes sense, because this weekend her daughter's getting married, and she wanted to forewarn that there'd be a lot of traffic back there, that there'd be music and people, and she hoped that this little gesture would forewarn us that this was going on. And I was so moved by the forethought and the kindness to just let your neighbors know, being neighborly. What a concept, to be neighborly. It reminded me of that story where a young mother got on a plane with her baby, and she had in a baggie earplugs and some candy and stuff for each of the seats around her. It's thinking about, I mean, it happens in the stitching world. Someone runs out of a thread. Oh, I have that color thread. You know, I got that piece of fabric. It just moved me. It was so neighborly. And, you know, you want to be a good neighbor. Just like Mr. Rogers. I want to be a good neighbor. Okay, so I'm moving on to some other stuff, although I don't know what it's going to be. Okay, I just want to show you my 56 count because I am continuing on the journey. 56 count, yes, with its little sweet needle minder. And it's in my Mad Hatter bag from the attic, because you have to be mad to do 56 count. But since I was starting 56 count, I decided to do this small Hands Across the Sea sampler, Oscar sampler. And I continue to enjoy and be thankful that 56 count is continuing to help me pluck my chin hairs just like I had hoped they would. Okay, so now, where are we? When I got to Acorns and Threads, there was a package for myself and also for Janine this time. My friend Lily, who is a bag maker extraordinaire, and I've been so blessed to have been on the receiving end of her talent and sweetness. And she also made one for Janine, which I'll have G post a picture at the end of the video of Janine with her bag. But you've got to see my bag. I mean, so here's the strap, adjustable strap, and then look at that. Bees that are gnomes. Oh my goodness. And a little wallet case too. Is that not just adorable? Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lily. I hope someday to be able to make bags. I've made some project bags, but I mean, I like the whole concept. I mean, the next bag I do really am putting on my list is a rice bag. And you can Google what that is, but it is one that I'm really looking forward to doing. A lot of hand stitching. I did pick up some haul. I have haul in 2 separate places. Okay. I've had 2 stitch groups at Acorns and Threads since my last time here with you. In the first stitch group, oh my gosh, there was so many beautiful FFOs, and I immediately had to go buy a couple of patterns because I have my beach ocean room, and these drums were unbelievable. So I picked these up at Acorns and Threads. I mean, look at that. And that Plum Street, what's not to love about that? And this one here. So I have those on a burner, and then I had pre-ordered this particular one, and it came into Acorns and Threads, and it's a hands-on design. And I pre-ordered it because, okay, it's a small, it's a hexie, and it's sewing themed. So look at that. And there's so much that you can do. You can do scissor fobs, you can do little pillows. I mean, really. This is like one of those patterns that you'll never give away. You know, like some patterns you'll share because, you know, at least I do. If I'm never going to stitch it again, then I want to share it for someone who wants to stitch it. But this is one that I would never give away, that you should have like a Bible in your stitching bookshelf, because there's so much to do with it. There's so much to do with it. I received a beautiful thank you card. I mean, I want to put my feet right in that water. Isn't that gorgeous? Sierra Club from Polly. And I really appreciated the note, Polly. It was so kind of you. Thank you. I also, I normally don't buy magazines. I used to be a big magazine subscription person, but now I just haven't. I've moved so many times, it just becomes a hassle to change magazine where they're supposed to be delivered. And so I tend to use Patreon as my magazine, and I pick up Patreon for the year. So last year I did Michelle Rudy's Patreon, and I loved everything about it. I loved Henry, I loved the goats, I just loved everything about it. But then the next year I chose a different Patreon subscription, and that was Linda Van Accessibles, and that has been a great time. Not only is her crafting just inspiring, I mean, she and Kate, where did I, oh, here it is. I not only got, let's see, she and Kate is one half of the Cynthia Sewing Center, so I got a needle minder from Kate. And then from Linda, she designed a cross stitch for the top of Altoid tins. So if you're at all interested, you can contact her. I'll put the link below. And this is, and she's coming out with a second one. But is that not really cute? And I've been saving Altoid tins forever. Sounds like G's home. So I better get talking, huh? I did end up purchasing this particular magazine because it had not only a lot of punch needle that I still have that on my list to learn, but it had some nautical theme, and I mean really, really. And luckily Janine had a pile of these right by the front counter where we can, oh, I just love this. This is Seed Packet Series designed. It's so cute. Here I am talking and I'm looking and you're not. Isn't that cute? So I have to figure out, is that rug hooking? Huh. And this particular issue has the creative twist with Vanna Pfeiffer, which is the twisted stitcher, showing how to finish. And I just love this guy, this whole thing here. So I ended up buying a magazine, which I had not done in quite a while. Let's see, as far as working on I'm just looking here at everything. I received a gift card to Acorns and Threads from Lynn, who is in Kauai. And thank you so much, Lynn. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciated it. I'm just speechless as far as this is going to keep me in the UFOs or the whips or the starts for a while. So, Lynn, thank you for that gift card. It was very kind of you. I was out of town. I was down at Quilters Affair working when I saw on Instagram that that the Clay by Kim was releasing a new set of needle minders, and if you've ever seen Clay by Kim, they are just stunningly beautiful pieces of art. And there was no way, being down there teaching, that I was going to have a chance to get on the first come first serve auction that she has on Thursdays. So I just texted a friend, there's an auction and I just love this one. And so my good friend got on there and picked it up for me. And it is just, it's like a bee dragonfly combination. I mean, it's just stunning. Absolutely stunning. These are works of art. These are truly works of art. Yeah. So I was able to get another Clay by Kim. So cool. And I love it when I'm at Acorns and Threads and people stop by and say hello, and we get to talk a little bit. I met a gal today who actually went to COCC and Portland State University and was traveling to have a family reunion. It feels so good to connect that stitchy world together. It just feels so good. And I love it when I'm at Acorns and Threads and you stop by to say hi when I'm there. You stop by to say hi. I received this whole package from a designer, everyday stitcher, Sharon. What a talent. She opened up an Etsy shop, and I'll put that all down below. And here's the QR code, so you can shine your phone up there to get a closer look if you want. But she sent some charts for me to give away, and they are truly odes to summer and to the 4th of July and all things that feel good. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to show you these charts, and then I'm going to give you a word, and if you just put it in the comments, we'll do a drawing for them, okay? So here's the first pack. So beach life, and look at that one. Look at the grass and the waves. Isn't that amazing? And this one is called Old Glory. So for these two, just say beach. And then here's the next two. Oh, you gotta love a red barn. And look at those sheep. So for these two, say amber. And then we have another set of these here. Look at that. So beautiful. So freedom. And I'll draw those before next time. So just leave it down in the comments. And I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe and do a thumbs up. And yeah, we'll get those to you. I have these other ones that I want to do. Really want to do this one. And 100% of the proceeds from the sale of this chart goes to Ocean Conservancy. Oh, I'm tired. I can't say that word. Look at how tired Enzo is. He hasn't moved a bit. Save the whales. Is that, look at that. Really, really awesome. Okay, so let's see. Where am I? I am getting, let's see, I've had Stitch Group with the beehive, queen bees here in the beehive, and that was wonderful. You know, Cheryl from Stitching with the Sisterlies, and Audrey, Stitchy Witch 42, and Janine, who owns the shop Acorns and Threads and is an extraordinary stitcher. And then today I was Saturday Stitch. I'm getting tired. Saturday Stitch, and because it's like 90 some degrees here, we were allowed to be in the classroom to stitch, even though Jolynn was doing a class on snowball heads. You gotta Google that on the website. And we tried to be quiet. But it was it's always very invigorating to your stitching when you get to sit in person with another stitcher and laugh and give opinions, and I don't know, encourage, enable. There's just nothing like it. And so it was a great day. And we tried to, not disturb the class too much, but I think we did a little bit. I think we did. I'm drinking LaCroix passion fruit. So I'm just looking what else I might, while I was at Stitch Group today, I decided to give myself a little bit of leeway since I finished the owl before I hit the next designated stitch, and I got back into my 2023. This is kitted up at Acorns and Thread, and working my way, slow but sure. I'm going to have it done in 2023 because I really want that 2023 to be on there. So I worked on that while I was there, mostly talking and not a lot of stitching, but mostly talking. I finished a book, and I have to tell you, I thought Lessons in Chemistry would be my most favorite book of the year, but I have to say that this book might have bumped that out of the yeah, it might have bumped that out of the most favorite book category. And it was called, I just don't want to get it wrong. I think it's called This Is the Way It Always Is. This is how it always is. Let's see. Yeah. This is how it always is. It might be a book that sparks all variety of emotions for you, but I think it's a book that will resonate in a different way for different people. And I could not stop once I started. Luckily, it was an audiobook so that I could keep listening while I was stitching. The author is Linda Frankel. Is that her name? Let's see. This is how it always is. Yeah, Lori Frankel. Lori Frankel. And I'm recommending that book because I think it will allow you to think about life, parenting, childhood in entirely different ways than you might. So I would recommend that book. And then I started Hang the Moon. And I've read books by Jeanette Walls before. I wasn't sure how I would feel about this, and I just started it. And it's a historical fiction, and I think I'm gonna enjoy it. Still reserving the option to stop if I want to. But This Is How It Always is I think a book that you need to read all the way to the end. You need to read it all the way to the end. It might open your eyes. Your eyes might be wide open. But it is a book that I think will cause conversation for sure. My oldest grandson and G and I went to see Mission Impossible. It was a Mission Impossible movie. And the discussion today at Stitch Group was, does Tom Cruise ever get old? Because some of the things he was doing in that movie, it checked all the Mission Impossible check marks. The flying, the jumping, the craziness, the what, but also the fact that artificial intelligence, which is the main premise of that movie, there were only 10 people in the theater. Yeah, there were only, we had practically the whole place with ourselves. But it was, we mainly just wanted to hang around with our older grandson. Well, I guess that's it. I know I probably forgot stuff. I want to be sure, thank you to all of those Stitchy Kindnesses. Thank you so much for that. I am moved beyond. I am moved beyond, sometimes speechless, which doesn't happen very often. It doesn't happen very often. But I am going to be moving on back onto the Janine McGowan. Oh, and I have to show you, talking about Janine McGowan. You know, if I could just go from my car to the annex, which is the classroom area of Acorns and Threads, I might get out of there without adding to my list, but I walked into the shop because I wanted to talk to some Stitch Roadie friends. And when I walked into the shop, right there at the front, when you walk in, not only did Corey bring new MySpace things, which this is a MySpace. She makes these. It's so awesome. They're just this, and they're all different fabrics, but you know, just clips. And there's a needle minder, a thing for your cup, a clip for your scissors, and the thread sticks to the inside. So she brought in a whole pile of those and a whole pile of project bags. But there was this chart right inside the door that is a must-have. I don't know how many Janine has left, but I would give Acorns and Threads a call. Happy Campers by Janine McGowan. She just can design like, man. Okay, I know other people have shown this, but they might not have talked so much about it. Do you know that these two animals in this canoe have life vests on? I mean, really, really. And the bear is coming out of the tent? And I can't even begin to tell you how extraordinary this porcupine looks. Oh, this is like an extraordinary chart. I wanted to start it like within the moment I bought it. But, and this is the blue flower. Yep. So many fun things to start, so many fun things to dream about. Well, thank you for hanging out with me. Maybe next time I'll be a little bit more organized, but I doubt it. I'll try to remember to put all the links down below. I watched the Patchy Pony. She's back. She had a floss tube, and I love her because really, horses, stitching, yeah, it's just fun. Yeah. Well, love you guys. Hope all is going well. Hope that all those places that are having such weather extremes, that it's that you're all safe and your stitching is safe. Yeah. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. You take care.